All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's see here. We are back. Nobody's here. Uh, oh well, nobody's here. Which they would just jump right on anyway. But a couple of phone calls I had to take. So and I knew one of them. I knew what they was calling about. I said, okay, let me go and talk to them. We're here. We're back. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk till I get close to work about this situation. Let me say this, man. I think black people have a natural tendency not like people that are in business and call people greedy. And I think that's what we see a hint of. Any black person, because I think what we believe, this is the lie we've been told. Any person that has a lot of money got it by ill-gotten means, immoral, stepping on people's backs. And because Jay-Z did what he did, this is going to probably do a lot of psychological damage to a lot of black people because we demonize the rich. We do. We demonize and we cannibalize any black person that has money. It's selfish, and that's how they got over on people. They lied to people, and this is what I'm noticing, right? Because there's a hint of jealousy. There's a hint of what's the word? I don't know, just outright disdain for black people that have been successful. And we act like poor people can't be selfish when nothing can be further from the truth. In fact, the most selfish people I've ever met are poor people. A person that doesn't have money. They're the ones that's selfish. They're the ones that feel like they have an entitlement mindset as if they, supposed to get your damn money. You got to cut them a check, and if you don't, you selfish. Who's immoral? Huh? You tell me that. Who's the most selfish person? Because I know plenty of people I done dealt with in my past. When I flipped houses, I got homeboys that was upset with me because I didn't cut them a check when I flipped my first house. My first fucking house. My first $20,000 check. And a nigga got mad. Me and this nigga fell out for years because he said, you didn't help me get on. Like, I'm like, nigga, I ain't got to help your ass get on. I ain't got to help you get on like that. Like, I mean, if I got millions and millions of dollars, then yeah, I will help you. But me getting $20,000 here, my first house, it took me a while to do my second house. It wasn't until I got past sold my second house that I started really moving. But them first two houses were no deal, bro. First one took 2 years. The second one took a year almost before I sold that house, man. I almost got foreclosed on my second house. I'm gonna tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Then I started really making money. That's when we fell out. But my thing was, even when I started really making money, I did physically get a house. He was scared to do the deal. See what I'm saying? So it's a lot of principles that can be learned from this Jay-Z situation, because I think that goes into the mix, is that Jay-Z has this what's the word? I guess reputation of being a selfish guy who doesn't want to help people, who's real selfish and gets over on people, which he does. I mean, this is clear. I mean, like I say, he talked Jermaine Dupri out of taking the exact same deal that you know what I'm saying? That's whack, dude. Like, I can't defend that. Like, if you turn down a deal that Jermaine Dupri was offered, they'll try to talk him out of it, then you go take the deal, that's a stab in the back move. But my thing is this: that doesn't negate the fact that I don't think he's a sellout for taking the move. And it also doesn't negate the fact that black people, we can learn from this. We can learn. First of all, it's a lot of this is a rich situation, because first of all, it teaches you about guys that are selfish, people that are selfish in doing business. I know a guy who I pretty much talked into doing real estate. He didn't even want to, he didn't know anything about it till he got around me. He got into real estate, started doing stuff, and he did the same thing like this guy did. He did a lot of the same type of stuff. It's this the type of move I could see him doing. And he's, I remember when you go look at Rockefeller, I think it's called Beef 3, I think it's on YouTube, I think. But they talk about Jay-Z and Dame Dash and beef, right? I think it is. And just look at it. Look at what Jay-Z told him. He said, man, are you trying to take the masters to reasonable doubt? He's like, yeah, man, it's business. That's what he said. That, like, as if he's like, wait a minute, man, this is our baby. We built this together. We built this out the trunk of our damn car. And that nigga Jay say, man, I understand, but it's business. Like, bitch, I'll take it. I don't give a fuck. It's just look, if you gonna do business, your ass better understand that that's who you're dealing with. People like that. If you're gonna do business, this shit is cutthroat. It can be. And you need to know how and when to fuck if you have to. It's like saying you're a drug dealer and you getting hurt and whining when a motherfucker get robbed. You're a drug dealer, but you don't got a gun. Like, that's why black people lose. We want to be drug dealers without it. Now, we understand how to be a drug dealer, but we suck at be drug dealers. Kind of come on here and talk to you guys about this situation or circumstance. And like I said, Machiavelli Mills, shout out to the brother. The brother called me. I mean, he didn't call me. He basically tried to respond to me saying Eric Reed is a hypocrite when he's exactly that. I make no bones about it, Machiavelli Mills. If you want to do a hangout, you've never done one. I've never seen you on one. I love to do it. You shouldn't defend your brother. Smart, educated, got his PhD, I think got his master's. He's smart, brother. Defend your point. Because I'm sorry, I don't think it's his dream. It's enough for Eric Reed, or whatever his name is, for Reed to be able to talk shit about Jay-Z while he on contract. That shit it's really funny. Like, that shit is so hilarious, it's funny. Because in his mind, didn't I say that in the other video? I said somehow in black people's minds, it makes sense for Eric Reed to talk shit about Jay-Z and call him a hypocrite while he on track with the NFL. Like, that shit, if that don't, like, break your damn brain to figure, that's a damn mind bender if I ever seen one. Like, how the hell you do that? How does that make sense? How do you reconcile the two the two principles in your mind? Because I can't do that. I can't. If I'm on contract, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. Like, what the hell? Let's think about it. When Eric Reed plays football, right? Is Eric Reed not dumb enough to understand that these people are selling tickets to the damn game? How else are they able to pay him his millions? And another thing, when Eric Reed took that contract, he had already played a full contract out in the NFL. He had already played and lived his dream. He didn't have to come back into the NFL if he thought that I'm going to tell you guys something. This is what I can't reconcile. The NFL ain't got shit to do with the cops killing people, really, to be honest. I'm just telling the truth. They don't. It's like Kaepernick just chose to do that shit. So I'm sorry, I don't fuck with Kaepernick. That's why I never fuck with his movement. Because I thought, like, that ain't got shit. That's like me going in my job and just saying, hey man, until cops start killing people, I'm not gonna do your code. And then because I got a union, we got some sort of players union or coders union. I go and try to bitch and say something because they chose to look out and get their balls out the sand and say out the ant bed and say, man, look, man, you know, I can't hire you, man. We can't hire you, bro. You don't want to code. You ain't doing what you're supposed to do. Well, not saying you don't want to code. You saying whatever little protest you're doing is costing us. Everybody with any brain can figure that out. But when it comes to black people, in our minds, we are very anti-business. We always like to look at black businessmen and business in general from an emotional standpoint. We're very emotional as it pertains to business. We're very illogical as it pertains to business. And this is why we're never able to win at business a lot of times. Because we want to play this emotional morality that this morality only exists with black people doing business and doing business with white people. That's when it exists. Now, it doesn't exist when a black man is in doing business and you working with me and you fucking my shit and lying to me. See, that morality doesn't exist then. That's these same people that are bitching about Colin Kaepernick somewhere right now fucking somebody's shit up. Somewhere, I bet you have these contractors. If I hire black contractors and they do shoddy work and shit like the guy I hired, I bet if I sat him down, he'll call Jay-Z a sellout. Cause you know why? He give me that. That's the type of nigga he is. He the main one to say a nigga. He always talked about sellouts and shit. Like, bitch, how you talking about a sellout? I give you money. I'm black. I'm out here trying to help other black people. I'm out here trying to put myself on, others on, and you screw me. You shit on me. How am I? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. Like, let's make sure that when we, choose to rally behind these causes that we do rally behind, that we understand certain things, man. Like, and that's why I'm finna put out the video today, or whenever. And the video's gonna be about Ayn Rand, and it's just gonna be about Atlas Shrugged. And I'm not gonna go into it right now, but I'm gonna talk about understanding those principles. Because there's something we can learn from that, how to do business. And if you're gonna do business, do it in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not what Ayn Rand is talking about. She's just talking about just capitalism in general. But in this conduct business, you need to be able to do it from a standpoint of understanding that nobody owes you shit. Nobody has to be moral with you in business. Jay-Z understands and grasps that principle. That's why he's where he is. But it's not, I'm going to say this. This is why I think black people need to learn that you don't have to shit on people to do business. And I don't think capitalism is shitting on people. I think we kind of have capitalism fucked up. Capitalism, like I'm going to say what Dr. Claude Anderson said, capitalism is basically aggregating tools, resources, and human capital to basically place yourself in a position to benefit economically. In so many words, that's what capitalism is. That's straight from the mouth of the master, Dr. Claude Anderson. Right? I agree, and I think the reason I said what I said, and I'm gonna reiterate this: the reason I said that black people are where they are is because, and I did a video called "The Rise and Fall of Black Capitalism." In that video, it went through. I had videos, I had segments, everything showing, making my case. And I said it, I'm gonna say it again. Black people do not know how to, one, exploit resources. Two, we don't have enough human capital. And three, we do not invest in a business-friendly environment. You guys may be like, man, come on, that ain't got shit. If you look at what a business-friendly environment is, business-friendly mean, first of all, is it business-friendly to do business in the black neighborhood where my mama just house got shot up last week? Motherfucker come over there shooting up the house, trying to get to a nigga. I done found the whole story. I don't know what happened now. They had the wrong house, but they was looking for some nigga that robbed somebody else. Like, is that a business-friendly environment? No, right? So it's not friendly to do business in the black community. Black people demonize people that do business. People that do, if you're successful, we demonize successful black people, and we call them selfish or whatever, right? So that's one. So we don't have a business friendly environment. Secondly, black people don't invest in human capital. Facts. For example, right now we don't invest in human capital. Right? Like, for example, IT. It's so easy. IT is a good example of that. Instead of us investing in the human capital, like I was over near Georgia Tech the other day, right? It's all Asians and Indians at Georgia Tech. And then we wonder why Indian Americans have the highest individual incomes in the whole fucking country. Over $100,000 a year on average, Indians. Why is that? Is it that they are just smarter, have higher IQs? No, I don't. It's because Indian Americans understand the importance of investing in human capital. That's it. And you can do it too. You see what I'm saying? You can go to the Occupational Outlook handbook, see what jobs pay the most, see what the requirements are to get those salaries, get those jobs. And then you could go and get a damn job making X amount of hundreds of thousands of dollars, whatever. But do we do that? No. We go to school and major in psychology because we love people. We go to school and major in early childhood education because we love kids. We listen to people telling us stuff like, hey man, you need to do what you love, man. It ain't always about the money. Black people are the only people that preach that shit more than anybody else. I'm not saying you won't hear that in other segments of the society, but black people are the main ones that's always talking about, man, it ain't always about money. Yes, the fuck it is when your ass can't pay your student loans. Yes, it is when you yourself will graduate from college because you majored in sociology because you want to study history or you majored in history. I know people like this that got fucked up in the game with student loans and shit because they went to school and majored in some dumb shit. Do you guys understand that like almost 80%, 75% of our PhDs are in education? And I'm not shitting on people with PhD in education. You can make a decent salary with a PhD in education. But that just speaks to what we major in when we go to school. So we do not invest in human capital. We don't. I'm teaching people database development. And a lot of these people come to me after having went to college and majored in some shit because they like it. They want to learn it. Shout out to Mark. That's my homie. I'm not throwing him under the bus. He had an environmental science degree. That was his degree. That was his background. We don't invest in human capital, okay? So number one, once again, what I said was we don't have a business friendly environment. Number two, we don't invest in human capital. And finally, the third point is we do not know how to exploit resources. This can be applied to countries. I'm just taking this shit and applying it to the black community. But this is not just me talking. What I'm talking about is like backed by economists and people that are world-renowned people that have won awards and shit. When you study economies and when you study countries and societies, this is the shit. This is how it works. The societies that flourish, a lot of times, the societies that win are societies that can exploit resources. So as African Americans, what resources do we have? See, this is the thing. You don't. That's why I don't fuck with Colin Kaepernick. Another reason why, because you got $30 million. Your ass had millions of dollars at your disposal, and you want to bitch about racism, white supremacy, and these dudes again. You had $100 million. Let's look at this shit now. You had $100 million that the NFL owners were willing to contribute. That you could have started a black credit union and had branches all over the country. And then you could have had the NFL negotiate to say, hey, each team every year is going to drop $3 million into a fund that goes into the black banks that's funding these black banks. That's $100 million a year that would have been going into the black community. That could have been reparations right there. Slow as it would have been, but over the course of 20, 30 years, that shit, you know, I mean, come on. You go alphabetical and you say, we're going to go state that has a sizable black population. We lay it out. You plan that shit out. And then you go to these these team owners and you make them pay that shit. Oh, you got them. You had them when they was up there trying to negotiate. But you gave them time and you didn't show up to the meeting. And then black people so stupid, we so dumb, we are, that we actually condoned and proud of Colin Kaepernick for not showing up to the meeting when they was finna cut $100 million check. And called Malcolm Jenkins a sellout for doing it. We calling Jay-Z a sellout because this guy maybe, I'm not saying that Jay-Z hasn't done some fucked up shit, but we'll call Jay-Z a sellout, and this dude might be trying to structure his way into being a team owner, which that's really what I think he's trying to do. He's trying to be a team owner, man. Dude trying to be a team owner. He's trying to finagle his way into getting team ownership. That's what he's trying to do. He wants to be the first black guy to own a team. They probably not gonna let him in. They probably not. He a rapper, ex-drug dealer. Good luck. He's probably not gonna be a full-on majority owner of a team. Now, is he? But that's what I'm saying. The dude is trying to gain power, wealth, and influence. That's what Jay-Z trying to do, right? Even if it's just for himself, and he's saying fuck the black community. He is doing that. Now, I'm pulling for the brother to get a team, or pulling for him to win, because I'd rather see a black man win than lose. That's just me. But we don't want to. Hey, he probably won't be a team owner, but I think the thing is, if he gets experience in that industry, we don't have, like I said, we don't have number two, we don't have human capital. So if Jay-Z is experienced in owning a team, if Rick Ross and Puff Daddy become experienced as team owners, what will happen then is they'll be able, if we do, somebody comes along and say, hey, we're going to start our own league. We got people that already done been on the inside that know what the fuck. See, that's what I was talking about on the other video before I had to hang up and come back. Guys, let me tell you something. If you're going to do business in America, you're going to have to play ball with white people. Sorry. Are there rare circumstances where you can, carve out a ghetto fabulous lifestyle by living in the black community and not doing business with white people and being just strict? Yeah. There are situations where you can kind of carve out a few $1 million. I've seen people do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not shitting on anybody that does that, but let's not act as though for the everyday average black person, unless you selling natural hair products or some shit or shea butter. 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to do business, you're going to have to fuck with some white folks. If you're borrowing money, how many black people can you go borrow money to do a real estate deal from? Huh? How many black tech firms can I go work in, people? I'm black. How many black-owned black tech firms are in Silicon Valley that I can go code and work for right now? Huh? How many black Mercedes-Benz dealerships can I go and work for right now if I wanted to? Now, we got some black car dealerships. You can do that. But that's what I'm saying. You got to think about that shit, don't you? How many black manufacturers? I mean, you can count them. I mean, they out there, but it ain't many. You know what I'm saying? I just so happen to know about them because shit, that's some shit we look into. We actually look into that shit. But the average black-owned, the average manufacturing firm in America is white-owned. The average shopping center you pull up to and go shopping at is a white-owned shopping center. The average store that you go into is a white-owned shopping center. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the office building that I'm in right now is white-owned. This Lazy Boy place right here that sell Lazy Boys is probably white-owned. This Haverty's furniture, white-owned. This mall, white-owned. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you're going to have to do business with white folks. If your ass want to go in the mall and start a kiosk because Christmas coming up, I'm going to give y'all a hustle. Business. This ain't got to be a hustle. It could be a business. I'm going to say this, man. This is some real shit. A smart move, especially if you're a female right now, while it's downtime, while it's slow, go into the mall and get you a kiosk. Set up and get ready for Christmas and start selling purses in the mall. I'm telling you right now, that shit will be the greatest hustle you can ever do. And I bet you like, well, man, what type of sense does that make, man? Well, first of all, I know for a fact you can go to the merchandise mart up in Atlanta. I know for a fact you can go to the merchandise mart and buy purses for $5 and $6. That you can turn around and sell. You can turn around, and that's what them Arabs do. If you go in the mall and you see them Arabs sitting at them kiosks, if you see them Arabs sitting at these kiosks in the mall, a lot of times those purses are $5 and $10 purses, man. That they sell them for $40. And I'm gonna tell you some real slick shit you could do. It's just my personal opinion. What you could do is when the customers come to you and they trying to buy some shit, it's 2 things you could do. Because you like, well, man, I want to sell them knockoffs, but how you gonna sell knockoffs? You can't sell them in the mall. Well, you can't just sell them outright. But what you could do is, and I've seen Arabs do this, they'll put them damn purses in the because the kiosks got like little drawers at the bottom. They'll slide them knockoffs in the drawers, like the Gucci and Louis purses and stuff. They'll slide them bitches in there. And when people come up and looking at the purses, they be like, okay, what you want? You want a Gucci? You want Louis? Yeah, I want. Okay, well, what you got? I got these here. They slide it open and you sell them like that. I'm telling you now, man, you can make probably per purse, you can make a profit of about $25, $30 a purse, maybe more. If you're selling Gucci for $50 and you bought that bitch for $20 or some shit, you know what I'm saying? That's how it works. And if you selling those other ones up top, you can move so many of those, and then you can do like a purse party at a hotel or something. You can get you a suite at a nice, expensive hotel and lay all of them out, or do a chest party at a shop. That's a good hustle. But the mall, I've seen people make $8,000 to $10,000 a week selling purses in the mall. Easy hustle, easy. Now you got to sit your ass down to protect your merchandise. But the point I'm trying to make is this: who owns that mall? Who are you doing the lease with? Who are you buying your insurance through? because they're gonna ask you to get insurance when you get. You have to have a liability insurance, and you're gonna have to pay them about $2,000 to $3,000 depending on what mall you at. And around December, it's gonna double, so you got to pay about $5,000 or $6,000. So it's best to jump in there now and set your shit up so you can get your system set up. But that's an easy business to get into because that's some shit I was gonna do. But now I'm doing pretty good doing what I do. Plus, I got other stuff going. I can't do every idea I have. But if I was a guy and I had $20,000 and I was unemployed and broke and I wasn't doing IT and I wasn't doing real estate and doing other stuff I'm doing, I would take my ass. You don't need 20,000. You can start probably about $5,000, $6,000. You can buy your merchandise, get your kiosk, decorate it, get your insurance and everything for about shit, probably less than that. And depending on what city you in, certain malls, the kiosks are $1,200 depending on where you are, $800, $900. So you put down that deposit. I call them back. You put down that deposit and what's up, y'all? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, black people need to understand that Jay-Z doing what he did was doing business with white people and doing. You gonna have to do what you got. You gonna have to do it too. I don't think Jay-Z's a sellout. Most of the time, when you hear people talk like that, they don't run a business. They don't sign the front of nobody's checks, so they don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a sellout move to do business with white people. I think that's how you aggregate power. So Jay-Z getting into the inner circles of the NFL is him trying to get his understanding. Now, are they gonna let him in? I don't know. Like I said, it's not like he could just, learn and then go create a team. They got to vote on it, and it's crazy. Like it's like a fraternity. So the NFL is a reason. It's a reason that the NBA is Jewish owned, and only guy you got is Michael Jordan and Mark Cuban and shit. Everybody else Jewish. You know what I'm saying? Small hats. You feel me? They make sure they look out for their own. That's one thing. But he is a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite. I agree 1,000%. He is a hypocrite, and which is bad. But like I said, I want you guys to understand that I just don't think that black people get the whole gist of it. Can I get some more likes, please? I don't like to ask for them, but please, if you don't mind, people, a few more likes. Thank you. But but anyway, yeah, man. Like I say, man. I mean, people, we got to look at it from a perspective of how is it that a guy like Jay-Z is a hypocrite because they saying, well, he bowing down to the white folks. He looks like a so and so. Nigga, you white splaining because the white man cut you a check. You nigga splaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That's a no-no. You know what I'm saying? Let me see who this is. Somebody text me. You know. Oh man. So okay. All right. So anyway, let me go ahead and close that. All right. So like I said, man, we need to go ahead and get our shit together, man, so that we can get enough economic infrastructure put in to cover our situation ourselves. You see what I'm saying? And until we get to that point, I myself can't really condone or co-sign some of the fuckery that I see from people in our community because we don't know enough to try to call a guy out and call him a sellout. We don't have the infrastructure. If Jay-Z want to learn how to own a football team and manage a football team and be a part of ownership, where can he go in the black community? Huh? He can't go anywhere in the black community. So why are we shaming people? Why do we shame black people? Because that's half of the shaming is because they're white and he's sitting there. Ain't nowhere in the black community he gonna go and do that. And the thing is that what really pisses me off is there are guys right now like LeBron and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Just those three guys right there got enough money to start their own whatever the fuck they want to start. They really can. But you know what I'm saying? They would have to compete with, and see, then we'll really start seeing, they'll start knocking LeBron ass down then when you see him do some shit like that. That's why I don't think he does shit like that. Because I think if you see these guys make, there's no fucking way. See me tell you guys something. I want you guys to think of this. Because I used to ask questions when I was a produce manager. And I remember the manager got pissed at me one day. Because I was asking, like, where do you guys get this fruit from? How much is it? What's the markup on this? See, I knew the markups and all that shit. Okay, where do you get the food from? Who are the companies that? And they were asking me this question. Say, okay, what does this have to do with you managing the produce department? I'm like, well, I might one day I might want to know my own store or some shit. If I just want to get knowledge and know. And he was like, yeah, he made some little comment like, that's not, no, I can tell you don't have that. I'm like, bro, don't tell me what the fuck I don't have. I don't have what? I cut him off. He's like, well, I'm just saying, it just doesn't, I mean, if you can't manage our department, like, it's not that I can't manage our department. But, and the reason he said I couldn't manage the department, let me tell y'all some crazy shit about being a produce manager. So the way it works is you have to get there and you have to pull old fruit, old outdated stuff that's in there, because some stuff is dated. You have to pull that stuff, right? So some mornings he would come there and he would get there before I get there and pull, and he would find outdated shit and then say, I can't manage it because he found some outdated shit, right? So one day I'm pulling. Now take in mind, he done pulled behind me 3 or 4 times. I come in there one day and reach way in the back and found some shit that was like 4 or 5 months old that everybody been missing, right? And I pulled it out and I walked up front. And I say, look, man, remember the other day? Look at this. This is 4 months old, but I don't know what I'm doing. See, that's why I'm not a good employee. I'm not. That's why I need to have my own shit. Because I look at them up, I don't be canned, you know what I'm saying? But I know when to shut up when it's time. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to hold your job or whatever. But I did check his ass. White guy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't like me. But the point I'm trying to make is I ask questions. Guys, when you in a job and when you in a situation, that's the thing with LeBron. I'm like, LeBron, you see these guys making billions off of your image. You see these guys making billions off of promoting players and shit like that. And you guys really killed the game and really had a good shot at fucking with the NBA, that damn N1. Y'all probably young and don't remember. There was a time when N1, people was starting to say shit. In the hood, a lot of niggas was like, shit, I want to play for N1. A lot of niggas was like, I know hot sauce. I know hot sauce and I know Spider. And I know another guy used to be with them named Scooter. Scooter from Montgomery. And I know them guys, man. I'm telling you, that damn M1 had a shot at something. It could have became something. It really could have, man. I mean, it was kids right now. Most of you guys don't understand. A lot of this shit that these white kids do, trying to play fancy now and all that shit. That shit started at M1. It started on the playgrounds, man. Skip to my Lou and all that shit. There's a crack in a lot of these leagues right now. Like the NBA has a crack that I see. And the NBA has a crack in that you paying these guys all this money, yet you showcase one guy. One guy. And you know what I'm saying? Instead of showcasing 5 or 6, giving this guy all the power, you're trying to help him. You're using the media to campaign and help him win and shit like that, trying to get him the best player. No, what you do is, see, now other teams aren't profitable. And so now it's top heavy. You worry about LA, New York, and Chicago. Those are the 3 areas they want to really dominate and control. You know what I'm saying? And right now, that's why everybody pushing people to go to New York, pushing people to go to a major market, because they want to see people like they want to see that, instead of saying, well, damn, let's get the Atlanta team. Like Atlanta, there's money to be made in an Atlanta team if you pick the right talent and get guys that are leapers. I knew a guy named Wayne that I used to play with. This dude had a 50-inch vert. I could jump, but this dude was amazing. This dude used to do stuff, and he used to say I could jump. I'm like, bro, I ain't like you. This dude used to do some stuff, boy. I'm talking about, he was 6'1", me and him the same height. This dude would come from the free throw. Like, I'm talking about, didn't need a good running start. He probably started half court, get a half little head of steam and just jump. It was just all power. This dude, you got people like that dude can, he fill some seats. He will fill seats. I seen him turn around and go straight up with a 7-footer like it wasn't nothing. Chest to chest, caught him. Boom! Dunked right on him like he wasn't nothing. You got plenty of people out here like this working in factory. That shit will sell tickets. You know what I'm saying? I know dudes that play football that are elusive and quick and shit like that, but they didn't make it for whatever reason. And they work at a factory. You know how many dudes? That's talent, untapped talent of the black community when it comes to players and athletes and shit like that, and what we're capable of doing athletically, and how you can probably market that shit and package it, and you could probably do a deal with a fledgling, struggling network like BET, who's right now just struggling to try to stay afloat, going and doing deals with Steve Harvey. You can go with them, you can go with Oprah Winfrey Network, and you can just mess around and go and get those guys and start a league. And in the summer, don't head with the NBA, that'll be stupid. But in the summer, you guys play in those games, and then you add guys in there and you play a different style to get the league started. That's what the Big Three did. That's why the Big Three, and see, the NBA is now trying to partner with the Big Three. I wouldn't give up no ownership. Three is a bad idea, because I ain't gonna say it's a bad idea, but the Big Three is an example of what could be done. You know what I'm saying? Ice Cube went and started his own league. So that's what I'm saying. Why don't we start our own leagues? But it could be 5-on-5, and it's guys out here. Mix in some of these guys that got names. Mix in a Gilbert Arenas or whoever. Mix these guys in, but then also it's guys that can do stuff that are amazing and make the style different. Make it a different style. And win games, do the music, make it a festive occasion. Man, let me tell you something. That was some amazing games. That guy Springs, Midnight Train out of Birmingham. These guys could play, man. I know dudes that could play like that's just in one state. That's just in Alabama. Quiet as kept, it's 1.7 million black folks in Alabama while y'all talking. So Alabama's actually there's a lot of black folks in Alabama. That's why everybody knows somebody from Alabama or Mississippi or Georgia, You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people in these three southern states. But what I'm saying is, man, it's a lot of opportunity, things that could be done and covered, man, to just start aggregating the talent that's out there. Start using these people to put them in a position of power. I think right now we focus too much on the bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that really ain't good for us. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, like with LeBron, for example. I think LeBron right now could easily start his own league. Those guys got enough money that they could pay, and then they could sell seats. And what they would do is all three of them started with just 4 teams. Everybody got KD will fill seats. Steph Curry will fill seats. LeBron will fill seats. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi will fill seats. Those 4 or 5 guys could start their own team. But which one? The only guy I heard say that is 2 of them. Larry Johnson and Amari Stoudemire. Those are the only 2 guys that could do it. But and there was a time in the early 2000s where, like I say, street ballers was starting to come after. People start really thinking, oh no, man, oh no. Now I played with some of the street. I knew. Like I played with Spider and Hot Sauce. I knew what time it was. Like ain't no way in hell. You know what I'm saying? But people, now some of them guys like Alamo, who else? Shit, that nigga Alamo, AO, them dudes had real game. Like even Professor, that white boy could go. Bone Collector, man, these dudes, they're a game now. Springs, there's another cat out of Mobile. Like it's cats I be knowing, man. Like when I played ball, that people could do some like heroic, amazing stuff on this court, man. I'm telling you, you can monetize that. Think about it. Why is it nobody's been able to monetize this? You got black entertainment. That, for one, is white owned, so I see why. So BET is no longer black owned. But remember, BET used to have all the HBCU basketball and football games and halftime shows. Dude, there's a gaping hole in the black community for. Yeah, Skip was that dude. Skip to my Lou was like, yeah, I liked him. I liked this game. He had a smart game. But let me say this, man. Hold on. Guys, I gotta take this. I call him back. I'm gonna get off and then call him back. But yeah, so there's a gaping hole in this whole situation, man. So, you could take guys like Skip to my Lou and guys like in a situation where they could win and put them guys in a situation where you could actually monetize something and do something. You know what I'm saying? With that, these guys got the money to do it. And basketball is way easier. These HBCUs got these stadiums with 5,000 and 6,000 seats and stuff. You could, man, you could easily do that. Start small, move to larger arenas, and get a TV contract with teams like in the summer. People want ball and they want to see their favorite players. You guys are playing ball anyway. You're gonna play ball anyway. You might as well play ball in your own league. That's just me. Unless they got a contract or something that's stopping them, there's no way in here. LeBron have been playing for 17 years. They done made this dude so big that he can start his own league now. Even if he retires, because he done played by damn near 20 years. If he retires, he could start his own league and get Kevin Durant and what's his name just to play in it. They can play for free to just push it. They don't even have to pay for money. You know what I'm saying? Just play for free. They put money up on the teams and give, pay these guys, $75, $80, or $90,000 a year. You got to pay them guys $1 million. So you talking about $900,000 for the yearly salary of the team, or $1 million? Everybody ain't got to make the same 90,000. That's the top end. You might pay a guy 50 or 40 just for the summer league. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? You pay these dudes, you get some of the best players in the world to come play in your league. And then let them guys go at it, man. That's how you set stuff up. See what I'm saying? But in order for these guys to get this experience, they got to play in the NBA. They got to get back office experience. They got to learn what it's like to run a franchise. Where we gonna get that experience? Doing stuff like Jay-Z just did. That's where you'll get that experience. Doing stuff like Jay. It's a lot of stuff these guys got, 60, 70, 80 years, 100 years worth of experience in the major league. And that's it, man. That's why people like Magic and doing what they do. Because I think they learn it, man. In time, somebody's going to come along and say, the hell with this. I'm not finna stay in because you have neglected situations or markets like what I just described with basketball and football, where there's guys out there with the talent. That the XFL is, you watch how the XFL does. That's going to be I'm really going to be watching to see how that goes. If that goes successfully, that really is going to speak volumes because he threw it together last time. But the XFL, if it goes like it took 2 years, if the XFL takes off next year and it does anything remotely close to what it can do, or close to, because people love football, man. And you got guys in the NBA and the NFL that really have a shot, man. So they mess around and get a guy. See, one thing about Vince McMahon, he knows how to market. He gonna get a guy like Tim Tebow, or man, tell you something. You could have marketed Tebow, put a team right in Jacksonville, where he from, and marketed him. This dude was electric. I'm sorry. People might have didn't like him because he was praying. Look here, man. That dude was electric, and he knew how to win. Say what you will. He might not have been the best. He might not have been the most efficient, but he knew how to win. You know what I'm saying? Now, he just didn't. It was a certain offense you had to build around him. But once he got it, he was hell, man. He was. And it was games he was putting up 400 yards. So it wasn't like he just, you know what I'm saying? It was just he had to play a certain style. And they didn't want to do that in the NBA. The NFL. Why? Because if you play that certain style for Tebow, that really lends to the black college quarterback, the black quarterbacks being the quarterback. They don't want that. They want you to stand in the pocket a lot of. Now, I ain't saying that's the only reason, but a lot of pocket passing quarterbacks, the reason they want you to stand in the pocket is that lends to the white boy. The black guy, if you want to break out that pocket and have a read option, man, you can break out that pocket and run. Man, come on, man. They're gonna have to come to Tuskegee and Alabama State and Morehouse and stuff looking for a quarterback then. They don't want to do that. Let me go, man. I'll hit y'all back.